tempo that you really need to allow your team to play a successful early game. On the side of Nova Esports, they drafted a very strong jungle and farm that needs that resource, that needs those 2 items to get it going.
Exactly that, right? So Ogren going up against the Agudo here is going to be an interesting matchup for both of these two teams, but Loops, obviously, going to Kasagi's scrim details. They've definitely had a few wins up onto the board here, but it all matters on this stage because this is where all the consequences or rewards are given to these teams.
Yeah, everything on the line, right? Game 1, just set the tone, get it in. I mean, I think a lot of people back home are not too familiar with Loops, right?
No.
They haven't got the same intel that we have in terms of the scrims and that data that they've had. So most of the people that are watching this are probably thinking Nova 3-0 here.
Well, it's for Loops to prove that they have all it takes coming in from the Chalk BR region to challenge Nova Esports, one of the best performing teams thus far in 2025. Without further ado, let's get into Game 1 of this best of 5.
Yeah, already a lot of pressure into that mid lane, right? Obviously, you've seen that Schwan into the bot side of the map as well. Just got to put pressure onto the Mai Shirunai because they know if they allow this Fire Ninja to clear out the minion waves, she's going to be rotating up top of the map. The flash actually being exhausted here onto the Loops. The
CY taking a lot. The path of passing, he's not going to get away. ABH getting first blood, making him pay.
Oh, very interesting already. Loops coming through with the first blood. What is this about, Hauler?
Yeah, just out of position on, but the Cannon Blast is going to connect as well, and now Schwan has to make the heroic save, does get it, and they make one to pay.
One does go down, so he's able to get the kill, but now is able to be faulted at the kill there as well. Nova and Loops currently 1-1 in this one, but already very interesting approach this game number 1. A lot of interaction into this mid lane.
Being aggressive, this is what you want to do. Don't play scared, and Loops doing a good job of being even stealing some of those boards, committing the smite just for that one, but you're saying, hey, I'm going to contest everything. I want to be in your face.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to get around Nova, right? It's making sure you're like, hey, you've got to react to me, not the other way around. But at the same time, we are seeing just a little bit of that 1v1 top side of the map here. Nobody with a real kind of privilege, depending on who got that spray sprite. We're not too sure who. But, well, we'd assume that obviously nobody has got that one just yet because not using the space sprite.
Yeah, not at all. But Loops right now, again, it's about funneling farm into the Agudo the same way Nova are trying to get CY going. Let the man kind of fly. He has, dare I say, he's been like focused quite a bit from the enemy teams. HBSC did a great job of limiting CY's, gameplay in that finals.
Yes, exactly. Definitely a way of limiting the gameplay here. But now, obviously, once again, all formulated around that mid lane, trying to use the Razor counter there. I mean, that would have been nice.
Yeah, Schwan was attempting to go in for that one, but it, Loops right now, they saw it coming, right? It was very obvious in that sense, so they completely sidestepped that.
It's a good way to get out of that one, right? I mean, it's a pretty long line, but to sidestep that one and obviously live is a good tail here for the side of Loops Esports. Actually not faltering in terms of gold either as well, right? Like, it seems very 50-50, and CY on the Augur not having the fastest kind of clear in terms of the farm.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like, oh my god, Loops, look at how amazing they're playing. But, I mean, this is not even 3 minutes, but the fact that they're keeping on pace, great. This is where you want to be, and that just kind of being a little equal. Nothing is like getting out of hand, so to speak.
Yeah, I feel like the change of gameplay seems to be sort of like situated around Wendy's pick, right? Obviously, Gao here, we don't normally see him in competitive, so really maybe just having CY there into the mid lane is just going to be like, we know that one can have a bit of a field day onto the likes of the Gao.
Yeah, if he's able to kind of get that going, right? I think that he's going to catch people off guard with some of that damage and his speed, right? This mage here could be a bit of an issue, but one, waiting in the wings, throwing out some Kachusins, but he'll just help farm with ABH, but one, not really hitting the outside lanes as of now.
Exactly, he's not really rotating much down to the bot side of the map, all right? I mean, to be honest, for the side of Loops here, they do have the counter to the Ali, so I feel like maybe the matchup here, especially paired up with the Modsu, they're not really struggling too much against Muchi and Waypit.
Yeah, and I mean, they do have some great counters, right? And Muchi needs to have his positioning on point. Make sure he doesn't get caught out. In the same way, CY just needs to farm. He needs to be that front liner, but he doesn't want to be super aggressive as he gets pushed back here. Wendy has now joined Mano Fraser over that wall. He's going to be fine. Wave Pit is looking to join as well, but Furball doing some action. Wendy actually has to flash.
Yes, forcing the flash out here of the mid lane of Wendy, especially as these neutral objectives come up as well. There may be a chance that they lose this one.
They find him, but it looks like CY has to use the Conductor of Souls, and he gets that steal with that smite. The box is going to be locked in, and they find Wendy. That's going to be a pick. Juan actually gallops away to safety. He's been pushed back, and ABH is going to be there. The bitter farewell does actually connect. They are so low, and Freaks gets picked off.
Ooh, getting picked up by Wendy there as he just debates fall also, but nice play here by the side of Loops. They are keeping in pace here of Nova Esports, but is this now the point of no return here? Obviously, Nova into the enemy jungle, looking to try and contest this Crimson Golem.
Oh, they find Mano Frizer as well, and looks like Chuan looked like he got killed by the tower?
Maybe Chuan too many hits, right?
Yeah, I see what you did there. But the biggest thing about CY right now was getting that steal. Yes, they traded 2-2 in the end, but you got that big neutral, which will be a big factor at this 4-minute mark.
Yes, again, just look at this replay here as well. Obviously, using the Death Precipice, getting that execution onto the enemy team there was a really good call here for Nova Esports. Obviously, tied 3-3 right now. Loops, I have to say, they are definitely playing up to a better standard than I was expecting going into this one.
I mean, they're only down about 600 gold. Yeah. I mean, Luke's doing a great job, right? It's all about the objectives, though, and taking that first one would be key, especially in that mid lane.
Oh, absolutely. I think whichever kind of like mid T1 falls early between these two teams really kind of just dictates the rest of the game, right? Obviously, side lanes, yes, it's a great pressure to be beheld here, but if you trade like a T1 down bot side for a T1 into the mid, it's not the greatest to trade, but they are going to be trading equally here within these side lanes.
Yeah, but look at what they're doing. They've taken the bottom T1. That was the first one of the game. A little bit slightly faster, and yes, Nova's kind of equalized in that sense, but this is something you have to be worried about. The Agudo is a serious issue in terms of siege, and CY on the side, he's going to actually tether up, and it looks like he's going to kind of just skirt around using his mobility more than anything else. Yeah,
using that Gorge mobilization paired with a Cannon Blast can be quite impressive there, but at the same time, Nova's able to get the takedown of the T2 on top side of the map here, whereas Loops are hoping that the minions are going to do the same thing.
Yeah, and all 5 members of Nova still in this top lane. Now they're looking to take the Crimson Golem away. But the Cannon Blast, that was actually very close. But CY does take that, does not use the Smite.
Smite dip there for the side of Nova Esports. They are going to allow Mano Fraser to take away, or at least reclaim, that Crimson Golem that they just lost from Loops there. But at the same time, obviously now that gold lead is slowly starting to formulate into Nova. Is this the 10-minute timer we're waiting for here?
Yeah, and it's so close. It still has been pulled away. Nova Esports, a couple of great moves across, taking the top 2. Pretty huge at this stage, but again, Nova Esports, though, look at how they're still coordinating. They're still a well-oiled machine, understanding how to get back, or how to further this lead.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to try and, like, the way they're going to further this one is by the successful team fight, right? Obviously, just trying to clear out the minion wave here.
Yeah, they find Furball onto CY, the Ruin Jin pushing him back. He has to actually Blood Rage just to stay alive, but now he's looking to turn. The Conductor of Souls is not going to do too much on that sense, but he didn't really get much out of that one, but they did take the tower.
Yeah, it was just a distraction, right? You saw their 3v4 into the middle of the map there, whilst Muchi was just like, you know what, guys, I'm going to get the macro play, get a little bit more gold going over to this Arlie. And as you can see here, Doomsday being built, looking for that Spark Forge dagger.
Yeah, looking for those items. I mean, look at the fact that Chuan is in the top lane, solo pushing, split pushing. Loops has got everybody in this mid lane just trying to defend this tower, and it looks like how he's like whittling it. Nice little Cannon Blast that will slow things down.
I did say, obviously, the first T1 to fall here really creates a pressure for the side of either team.
CY getting bounced around. The Conductor of Souls is going to be used. They find Freaks in a bad spot. The Death Precipice is doing a decent amount of work. He wants to go in. Wendy decides to go for this one, but he's not able to get Freaks down. Wendy's getting a little low himself. He does get on back. ABH is going to be running as well. CY at about half life. He gets a soaring signal to the face. They're going to take the enemy jungle instead.
Yeah, I don't think Nova was really anticipated a T2 takedown at the bot side of the map there as well, right? Like, that's really put the pressure on. That kind of really drove them away.
Oh, nice little Razor Cavalry. The pushback. Mano Friser flashing back to safety. He's trying to run, but he's going to get chased down. He gets cut down by Chuan. Again, Guan Yu, Chuan is so scary.
Very scary, especially with Frigid Charge as well, right? Like, if you think you're going to get out of there just by flashing, you are a fool, especially when they finally start to build a Frigid Charge here for Chuan. But same time now, Loops are still behind by around about 2k gold, which could be a problem here for them as they get closer and closer to the Shadow Overlord and Tyrant.
Yeah, they're looking to just take this one, and it essentially will be for free. Luke's in the top lane. Nobody's really nearby to kind of contest, taking that one down at the 9-minute mark at this point. But Nova Esports making some great moves. And CY with a 2-level advantage over ABH.
Crazy. 2-level advantage is definitely where you want to be if you're playing an Organ, right? Looking at the itemization, he's going for the Ominous Premonition over anything else like the Isle of Phoenix or anything like that, because obviously if you look at Loops' draft, you've got the Charlotte, you've got the Mai, 2 dive-heavy heroes. How do you want to get them and lock them into place? Slow down the movement speed with an item like the Ominous Premonition.
Yeah, that would definitely help them out. And now the Razor Cavalry catching out 2. They find one in a bad spot. He's going to double dash away. Freaks is still fighting this one, but he's fighting 1 versus 4. The light step back. Bucci does get the safety, and Freaks will be picked off. The furball on, they find Wendy. He's a little bit low himself, but the Fox is now going to be used, just trying to protect Vento. And now Schwan is going to be there, but if anything, they push them back. Loops right now on the defensive.
Push them back, but they got the minion waves into the side lanes, kind of just slowly forming around this one. But at the same time, because they put the pressure on here, drove them to that high ground territory here. CY didn't need that because he's been contesting those Crimson Golems for the past like 5 minutes or so, but now it just makes it a little bit easier of an objective to contest.
Yeah, CY doing a great job. I mean, his farming has been efficient, his positioning, just the way his ability to just get in and out of the fights has been great, but now it looks like they want to go. Schwan with the Soaring Greed Dragon gets it on point, and Mono Frizer's going to be picked off. They're going to continue the chase, but one is so low. Schwan looking for the rogue charge. Freaks get caught on the curb. He's going to be fine. The rest of them will survive, and they only got Mono Frizer.
Only Mono Frizer, but at the same time, that's a huge detriment to Loops Esports, right? Obviously, losing that Cannon Blast means that they can't really just disengage or stop any kind of huge confrontation here from the side of Nova Esports.
Yeah, and the fact that you're down a member, now you can't really contest the Shadow Tyrant. Nova Esports doing a great job understanding when to go in, when to get the pick off, and to go out and turn those into neutrals.
Yeah, exactly. Neutral objectives are going to play a big part in this next few moments of the game, right? Obviously, Nova Esports, we're looking around about a 6k gold lead, but origin story here for the side of Vento. When he always plays any role-playing game, he always chooses the element wind, hence his name Vento. Wind is his element, and Nova is about to feel the storm.
Yeah, I call myself wind when I'm passing gas, so we're kind of the same in that sense, so I get it as well. But Nova Esports here, continuing the siege, putting the pressure on. I think that this is going to be a typical Nova Esports game where they like to just kind of choke you out, take away as much of the farm as possible.
That was a good one. You cracked me up with that one. I expected it, but it still tickled me. It still tickled me. I think you got a feather under my chair, but at the same time, Nova Esports coming in, crashing through with these 3 minion waves at the higher ground turret as well. Gorge mobilization just onto the back line, just to try and keep them away.
Yeah, and look at this slow siege. The positioning is so good in terms of how they own it. They just don't have the minions to kind of continue on, but the way that they're kind of going in and out, nothing is really at risk by Nova.
Nothing's at risk for now. I mean, exactly right. Like, they're not in that kind of like prime position that OG was in that first game, right? They have lost quite a few turrets. Loops, as long as they've got these high ground turrets, know that they can come back.
Yeah, I mean, they need to find some sort of pickoff. Right now, it's been the macro game that Nova Esports has completely taken advantage of, and now CY over that wall. They're trying to take down this bottom T3 as much as possible. CY with that Conductor of Souls, they take that out with that spacing that was provided by Nova.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even going for a kill. It wasn't a lethal Conductor of Souls. It was literally just to create space there into the bot side of the map. Really get those super minions onto the Gorge here, but can Loops contest this Shadow Overlord?
Yeah, and that's going to be the big one, right? Are they able to kind of get into position? I mean, Nova Esports has done such a great job of making sure all the lanes are so far back that you can barely get outside of your base.
Yeah, exactly. That's not going to... I mean, unless you're Twisted Minds and you kind of give up a lot of the resources in that base.
Yeah, definitely. And Schwan, just the fact that he's able to split push and go in, but CY taking the Overlord. That was a little bit close. One trying to dash away. He gets picked off. Muji with that last shot, making sure that they get it in. Freaks now. Bitter Farewell on top of him. They're bouncing him around, slowing him with that Death Precipice. He actually has to flash, but Schwan slams him down, gets the pick. Vento's been killed as well. 3 members are already there, and Nova Esports are looking to just flex. The thing inside the box is going to be off the mark, and now Nova Esports are looking to end this game with that Conductor of Souls. They're taking down the Crystal as quickly as possible, and Nova Esports taking game 1.
Supernova in game number 1 there. They're getting the feet where it's starting to bleed through, but maybe it's just not their moment yet. But I mean, it's only game 1. Rough, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but way Pit he had, and you're kind of just seeing how YCY had such a great...
Very gnarly pie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of corners, it would make sense for gripping in the hand, but what makes sense as well is MVP being gripped by Juan here on